Alright, so I had actually already done a video and I recorded it, and then I had so much trouble uploading it. So I just thought take out a bunch of filler that I said and just kind of get to the point there, because the video I did record, it was like 20 minutes long, and I kind of went off the rails and then got back on and then got off and then back on for a minute. Um, what I want to talk about the most is that yes, I don't really care if Amari Rodgers is cut. I don't care if he's gone tomorrow or whatever. Probably not, because it's a short week this week. Because we play on Thursday at against the Titans at home. So, but I mean, you're gonna have a mini bye, as I like to call it, for the next week plus after this game, win or lose, to start deciding on some of these factors. Amari Rodgers, again, has, I believe, is it one more completed passing catch than fumbles? I believe it's 6 passes completed, or 6 passes caught, and I believe it's 5 fumbles this year. Those stats are this year. That's atrocious. That's absolutely atrocious to have a stat like that. So, again, if he's, gone, I don't give a crap. I don't care. I do think, though, if we can get trade value, and I know people aren't going to like this because we probably would have to wait until the offseason for, a trade. But if we can get trade value and maybe we get a different wide receiver 3 or 4 or whatever, something like that, and just straight up Amari Rodgers and maybe like a 7th round pick for whoever, I would, I wouldn't mind that. At least we get some value out of him. We drafted him in, was it the 3rd or the 4th round? Was it 2 years ago? So, he's not worth a lot. But if we can maybe, again, get a low-tier wide receiver or something else that we need from, around the league in the offseason, I'm totally, okay with that. But that means suffering through the rest of this year. We have, 8 or 9 weeks, whatever. Week 10, 8 weeks. I couldn't remember exactly. We're on week 10, so that's easy to figure out. 18 weeks in total. There we go. Math. That would be at least, right now we're still in playoff contention. Who knows what's going to happen in January by the time we get there, but we're still in playoff contention. So it would be 8 games minimum if we did something like, for a trade offer in the off season. And then again, it'd be like March, April, somewhere around there was when the deal would finally happen. So, it's just, it sucks because I did have hope for him. I thought he, looked pretty decent. I remember watching his tape, watching highlights and whatnot online of him coming out of Clemson. I believe it was Clemson. Yeah, it should be. It should be. I don't know why I'm second guessing. It should be Clemson. And he looked like a pretty good player. Not a first-round player, not a first-round wide receiver, draft pick or anything. But again, it was 3rd or 4th round that we picked him up. I thought, good depth and whatnot. Maybe we can try to turn him into a superstar down the line, but that's not working. The fact that Christian Watson and especially Romeo Doubs, in their first year, now again, they're not returning punts, okay? They're not returning punts. But they look so much better than Amari Rodgers after 3 years, or 2 years. It's just like they fumbled his growth here. And, he did say he, improved and whatnot in the offseason. And I don't know. Again, he's, punt return is a lot different than wide receiver, obviously. So it's like, I don't want to push them together and say he has no value at all. Because I think he could maybe be an okay wide receiver. But they just don't want to give him the chance. And so, who knows? Again, who knows what's going to happen? I don't... I kind of want to just move on from it. But again, it's a weekly thing. I said it in the stream. If you're in there, I probably should have started with this. I got a little emotional in the stream because every single week he's messing up with something on special teams. And when Nixon came in, I felt that gave us a big spark on special teams. I thought that really helped us on special teams. And really from there, their special teams wasn't bad at all today or yesterday. They were pretty good. Defense looked pretty good too. Offense again looked a lot better than what they should have. Especially again coming off a 5-game skid of just like no points. Like I think we were averaging like 17.1 points coming into this game against Dallas yesterday, and we put up 31. So we almost doubled that in one game. We almost doubled that. So I just. I got really emotional about what I said, what I did. I'm not gonna say it. My stream is up. It's live. You can go through that 3.5 hours or whatever it is. Maybe close to 4 because we did go into overtime. So if you want to go find my rant, I went off about him and whatnot. But I still feel like there's a little bit of value there for wide receiver. I think you put Nixon at punt returner. Nixon's already at kick returner. You have again if he gets hurt, have someone back him up because he's playing defense too. Nixon's been a rotational player on defense as well as special teams too. So and I think he's a gunner. I think he's a gunner for the punt team too. So not only the kick return or the punt return team, a gunner for the punt kicker side. You know what I mean. If you understand football, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't think is there a definition for that or a word for that? I don't even know. I never thought about that until now. But I've given up on punt return Amari Rodgers, but I want to see a little more and see what he can do as a wide receiver. I feel like that's how we should be utilizing him instead of a punt returner. Again, Nixon is fine. We got him. He can lock it down back there. And with wide receivers so banged up and so thin right now, why not? Why not give him a shot? He was out there late in the second half, getting some reps. I don't think he got thrown to. Again, I did, I recapped the game. I didn't really talk about him, or at least, as a wide receiver, but I kind of scrolled through the stats and whatnot, so you can always pause the video and find if you got any stats, and then just let me know. Or any targets, I shouldn't say stats, any targets on wide receiver as a wide receiver. So, but, I'm almost at the point where it's just like I almost want to give up on him, and it sucks because I had hope for him when he got drafted. I thought this will be, an interesting draft pick, a future draft pick, obviously, and he's just not working out. And I don't think it's going to take a step, till next year. So, again, I went full-on rage mode in that stream. Again, if you want to go find that clip, again, it's within probably like 2 hours in or something like that. I forget how deep in it is. But let me know your thoughts on, Amari Rodgers returning punts. Hopefully he's done. Do you want to see him flat out cut, or do you want him to, potentially try to use more so at wide receiver? See if there is any value there at wide receiver. And again, maybe if they don't flat out cut him here in the next 2 weeks, if he doesn't do something terrible, atrocious, maybe he can get some film as a wide receiver. And again, maybe that'll rise his stock a little bit. So it'll be easier to kind of trade him for something. So for now, though, like the video, share the video around, don't subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.